the possibility of striking isn't there, it's not fighting.
Okay, Mike, hear me out, hear me out. I think the problem is power scaling brain rot. By the way, go follow Big Bang Mike. He does videos on martial arts and a bunch of other stuff. He's a great creator. In his previous videos, a bunch of people were arguing about what the definition of a fight was, or rather, the definition of what a fighter is. And his main argument was, in a fight, there has to be the possibility of striking. Because if you just randomly get into a fight with someone on the street, no one's going to walk up to that guy and say, hey, don't throw a punch. There were a bunch of fans and practitioners of the grappling arts who came into his comments saying, how dare you not call me a fighter? He was like, well, you're not. You're a grappler. Your sport takes skill. Your sport can be useful in a fight, but in your competitions, you are not allowed to strike someone, so that is not a competition of fighting, it's a competition of grappling. And I, for the life of me, could not understand why people got upset over this really pretty simple semantic definition thing. And then I remembered my series of videos where I talked about how gravity was the weakest of the fundamental force. And I realized that that power scalar attitude had become so all-encompassing that merely defining something will make people angry if that definition doesn't somehow praise something they think is cool. Like when I say gravity is the weakest fundamental force, we can measure the force of gravity, and it's small. You can get up, out of bed every morning. That's you defying the gravity of the entire Earth. And people can't accept this. They insist that you have to change the definition of gravity to make it such that gravity is not the weakest force, because gravity is their super special child, It occurs to me that the same thing is happening here. You're just saying, this is what a fight is, this is what grappling is, this is what gymnastics are. Definitions have uses. And more to the point, this is just observational, right? Like this is the definition we use when we observe these activities happening in existence. Like we did not arbitrarily choose to say fights require striking. We have observed fights happen, and in all those situations, there was an option for someone to hit someone else. That's science. I mean, it's not like science as you might think of it. Like no one's in a white lab wearing a lab coat, but that's science. Just like we can observe the force that gravity has around us, and we could say it's a weaker force than the other four fundamental forces. It's not like we're not deciding this. We just see it. We just observe it. And again, because of this power scaling mindset, this my dad can beat your dad mindset, people cannot deal with definitions that are exclusionary because they don't hear the definition. They just hear that thing you like sucks. And that attitude is just kind of explicitly not useful when we're trying to have a discussion. Like, it doesn't matter how much you say this thing, your favorite thing, is valid in its own way. People will not be satisfied unless their dad can beat up your dad. I think just as a community, we have to work on that not being the case, or else this is just going to be frustration until the end of time.